Welcome. Welcome. You know something? Not only have we been played, but this is actually irritating. What if I said not their God, but your God is extremely pissed off at you for being this fooled? And this is why you go through all the drama that you go through. Would it make sense? Or would I be over exaggerating? I don't know. Let's see. So, and I know you guys can hear me, but just for safety reasons. This guy, Dane Calloway. I've been on Dane for a while. And you know what? Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody on this mission. But Dane this morning came with a picture that was pretty incredible, seeing how this is a whitewashed picture. And the thing that kills me the most is we act brand new to this. Like this is something new, and it's not. Whitewashing history is not new. This is actually extremely old. Now, the reason that I entitled this video, "Why do you think they talking about God or space?" I should have put and I'll probably clean it up and put that. But if you notice, and this is only for people that are there, people that are in the loop. If you're in the mix, then you understand what I'm talking about. In the conscious community right now, there is God's been a discussion, but now they're doing the flat earth thing again. And to me, I don't see how a group doesn't understand like a redux or what they call it, retrograde, I think is what they call it. I don't see how people don't see that that's taking place right now. All this Indian information coming up, whether it's you can't test the Siberians' blood, or because 23andMe never went to all these tribes, and then how could you do that knowing that these are the people you claim that are these people? That would be extremely disrespectful to kill off a group of people and then the remainder ones prick their finger and tell them who they are. I don't think that's going down. So you have that flaw. Then you also have all this paperwork coming out debunking a lot of different stuff that we were told about Negroes in America for years. Then you have this. Now, the picture on top is the original picture. The one on the bottom is the whitewashed version. Now, this is the thing that's interesting to me, because now this makes me run back everything. If this is what they originally looked like, if they look like that, and here's another weird thing. These Indians on top, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm not saying that we're African, but you can clearly see that the Indians on top have dealt with people from the other side of the water already, or the Pan-Africans are going to claim we are those people from the other side of the water. But you can tell by the headgear. Some of them are wearing like wraps on their head. I'm not talking about the feathers though. I'm talking about the wraps. Now, there is no Moorish history of feathers on the head in representation of crowns pushing the narrative of a American Indian. That has never been discussed at all. But if we know that the Moors are the concept of the Shriner, and we know Moors were around before the Shriners. The Shriners of America are invented in, I think, the 1800s, early 1800s or late 1700s. So these Shriners over here are not even from the original shrine. They're not. They're not from the east. Okay. They wear fezzes. The fez is the Moor's crown. Period. You can add all these other people you want, light skins, it does not matter. We all know historically that the fez belongs to the Moor. That is their crown. All right. When you get into Moorish science, you're going to run into the same spooky stuff that the European gave you. Because, see, here's another question I forgot to throw out there. Okay. So we know they can't test these Native Americans' blood because this is the guinea pig they put in front of us. And then they told us their story about them being slaughtered and all this. Okay, they couldn't have a straight face and have the audacity to go to these tribes and ask them to prick their finger to take a DNA test because you've already told us that's who they are. So they're not going to do that. Okay, that also means we have no test for them. We have no blood for them. This is why Senator Elizabeth Warren's test came back inconclusive. They're like, yeah, she has indigenous DNA, but it's not from America. Why? Because they don't have any of these Siberians' DNA. None of them pricked the finger. How could they make them do that? They were already here. You're telling us they were already here. Okay. So how all the way in the 80s are you going to make a DNA test and then force these people of the land that you took to take a test? You would never do nothing like that. It's inhumane. Okay, so they don't have any of that blood. Regardless if these people say they're 2% this, 2% that, it's not true. Look it up. They'll tell you how you get into the tribes. It's through community work. It's through working, doing stuff for the tribe, doing stuff for the nation that you're talking about, whatever it is, Arawak, Navajo, it doesn't matter. That is how you get into the tribe. You don't get in through blood. Okay, so you have that. In the times that we're in, because eventually you had to wake up. That's what you guys don't get. It's the technology which is the downfall of the programming. They're giving us too much information. They just didn't expect you to go in it. They didn't expect you to try to decipher anything. They thought you would just take, red is red, blue is blue, 1 + 1 is 2, and leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? They actually thought you would be annoyed of school, and that's why a lot of you would drop out or not be involved at all, which was perfect for them. But a clause happened in the contract, and it's called universal realization. It's like you guys don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. You can only be asleep for so long without information. But once you have it, once it's around you, it's like you're going to wake up. A lot of people don't even listen to, mainstream music anymore. A lot of people are creating their own vibrations, their own sounds now. Why? Because you're free. You're not, spellbound to, I can't sing, I can't rhyme, I can't create. I have to just listen to these people that they're picking and putting on me. That's what I have to do. Just like information. I can't find what we're looking at right now. Like I said, shout out to Dan Calloway. I can't find this. No, I can't find whitewashed American Indian history, even though it's not supposed to be whitewashed, because remember, they're not even supposed to be Negroes. They're not even supposed to be black. And people will be like, well, yeah, because everybody came from Africa. All right, here's where the question comes in. This is where you guys are getting on my nerves. Everybody's from Africa. But the Pan-African and the Black Power people will not call the European their brother. They will not call it their brother or him or them. They will not call them their brother. They say that's the white boy, that's the devil, that's the European. What else do they call it? Troglodytes, there's so many different names they call them. Okay, so they're completely separating themselves from these people that they're claiming are from Africa because of this out of Africa theory. Everybody has to be from Africa. Why? When did the European stop being African and became a European? Oh, that's whoop-de-whoop. Okay. So when did the Siberian stop being an Asian and become a Native American? And who told you can do that? Who told you that? See, the thing that irritates me is they act like there was a large presence of conquistador rule in Africa in the times of this slave trade, this Atlantic one that they're talking about. That's not possible because that's not what they talk about. They don't tell you that in history. They tell you that they had South America. So they're like, well, yeah, some slave boats went to Brazil, duh. Okay, what does that have to do with you? Nothing. When we try to use the Portuguese meeting the Brazilians for the first time and calling them Negroes, they say we can't use that because we're from up north. We're up North America. So why are you trying to communicate with South America? Okay, so why are you trying to use the Spanish language, Negro, all the way in Virginia, when you're telling me I'm not allowed to use South American information because I'm from up north? See, you got to pick your poison. You can't have it both ways. And I say that for that sucker. I think his name's Truist. He be on Brother Garfield page. But he was running his mouth. He was saying something slick to me, and he thought he was making sense. Really, sound like a damn idiot. But it's whatever. Let's keep going. So, all the way up north, before the first African gets here, because remember, there is no before Columbus. The only time an African, a dark-skinned person gets to America, even though we're looking at this picture that they clearly whitewashed, but supposedly the first time a dark-skinned person gets to America is off of a slave boat. Okay. Who were these Spaniards describing when they're claiming people are Negro? And here's another thing. Just because somebody is calling you something, that doesn't mean that's what you are. I call you stupid. That doesn't mean you're dumb. I call you a genius. That doesn't mean you're smart. So, because they assumed that somebody was somebody based off of phenotypes, not who they are. You know how many people, how many white people look at Creoles funny until they find out that they Creole? You know what I'm saying? It'd be this light, bright, white person with, curly or straight hair, you know what I'm saying? Look like a pale face. And they're like, what are you doing over there talking to those niggers? First of all, that's my mama, bitch. You're like, oh shit, what the fuck? It's Creole. Don't look no black at all, but no, they sold out. Sold. Foul. Sold out. Why? Oh, that's the French. Bruh. You claiming that the Negro got raped by the white person, but they're still big lip black. So where are these big lip, big booty white people at? Why they got to get, surgeries and stuff like that, or do a gang of squats? Why is that? Why don't you see the Babe Ruth type of Negroes anymore? See, that's what people be messing up at. Beethoven. See, there's so many different looking Negroes on earth because here's the thing: we are all people. There was already red bones in America before slavery even happened. That's been around. There's been all color shades over here. And this is why I'm American Indian and I'm not Aboriginal, because Aboriginals have blonde hair and blue eyes. They've never been no blonde hair, blue eyed American Indians, ever. Ever. They've all been dark brown and black haired. dark brown and black-eyed. They have never had any blonde-haired, blue-eyed Indians. That has never been, ever. So, who are we over here? Why are they whitewashing pictures over here? Why are the Pan-Africans having all this information that we're showing them, but all they can talk about is God or space? And here's the funny thing. They don't believe in God. They can't. I'm going to dispel every African fake magic that they ever put out. The Africans is who they credit for creating God. You don't have to believe that, but let's just run with their story. So they credit the African for creating God. They don't tell us which one because remember, Africa is a continent. These are all different countries. These are all different tribes, different groups. They were never a unified group. So it's foolery. It's honestly foolery on your brain. It's a spell, but whatever. So they create God. But if you study them, if you study the original them, the like the Egyptians or whatever you want to say, stuff like that. If you study them, everything's going to turn back to teaching tools. It's your brain who's fantasizing. You're the one making up stuff in your head. Everything's going to go back to a teaching tool. Everything's going to be something that you're physically doing here. You're not, flying in the air at all. It's allegory. It's metaphorical teaching, something that you're going to apply while you're alive. They don't believe in that, or do they? We got to get educated. We got to go to school. We got to teach our own babies. We got to take them out of the program. Okay, so you believe in actual work. So then why are you talking about the spook man that you know don't exist? Why would I sit here all day and argue about a concept that I'm saying is not real? Oh, it's got all the people in trap. No, actually it doesn't. The people you're trying to talk to are zombies. Let them stay asleep forever. Who cares? Like, you're literally on the physical plane walking around. I hope you can't be that damn slow. I know some people are. I don't believe that though. I think it's fear. I think they're afraid. They're afraid to get involved in what's really going on here and what the real grand awakening is. And then you have space. Space is cool. I don't have a problem with space. My problem with space is all this stuff is coming off the space of your mind. All of it is. Most stuff out in the outer space is drawings. Most of the cameras, you could honestly say, is tricks. You really don't have to believe it. You don't. From Red Bull commercials to Elon Musk, like, you really don't have to believe none of that. It could all be programming. Why? See, this is where it gets deep, where conspiracy theory meets facts, where, this is not going on agent spies, but you really see they're lying to you and they're pimping you out. Okay, what would they be hiding? Remember, it's not conspiracies, it's conspiracy. Everything is being done for one reason. Okay, what are we seeing on the screen? They whitewashing American Indian history, changing the bone structure of people. See, that's what I want y'all to realize. See, these Siberians, they don't have no DNA test. Their bone structure is different, but their bone structure is fitting more of the whitewash renditions of these original people. So now here's my other question. How many other things did they do like that? See, that's where it gets deep. It gets deep when, you got conquistadors crediting that, the original Tatichilan, which y'all call Mexico City, was all Negroes. See, when you have a Spaniard confirming it, the ones that ended up taking it over, they're telling you who they took over. And then you look at these drawings and you look at these faces and these bold structures. You have to say to yourself, are these the original ones? Are these the original pictures? Because the Portuguese clearly told us who they saw in South America. And all the way up north, when these African slaves get off the boat, they're already being compared to something that's already been here. The Negro. That's trippy. That is trippy. You're crediting Negro for Africa because of the Negroid, Caucasoid, and Mongoloid, but this science comes out in the 1700s during white supremacy. They created this. No such thing as the Negroid, Caucasoid. That's why it's Caucasian, Mongolian, Negro. See? And then why on that picture did they have 5 different people and they separate the American from the African? Why is that? Remember, it's the ones on the American soil that they're calling Negroes. Ain't nobody calling nobody Negroes in Africa. It's a lie. Negritos, that's in the Philippines. Yeah, that's in the Philippines. That's not Africa. Nega, you know what I'm saying? Negus, and Negas, those are African. I'll give you that. And I'm not saying that it can't be credited to dialect, referring to dark-skinned people. I can't say that it don't, because that's what Negro is referring to, black. So that's what we're saying. We're saying the only person that was turned black was in America. The only person that was turned Negro was in America. The only colored is in America. The African, they know who they are. They're in different countries, guys. They know that Nigerian knows he's Nigerian. He wasn't hit in the head. No, he knows a different language. Maybe he speaks French now, but it's like, no. He's been there. They never left. They're on their same land. And you're like, well, so see, that confirms it. No, it doesn't. It confirms that you are the one that's been put in the spell. You are the one that's been put in the spell. Even if you want to say that Africa's been put in the spell, bruh, I'm not from over there. I don't know. One thing at a time, people. One thing at a time. What I know is that 50% of the American Negroes are old blood. So if you're claiming that some people came over here, I'll give you that. That's where that other blood is coming from. Because that's West Africa. West Africa is not known for old blood. That's another thing people don't smoke on. People like, yo, you from West Africa. West Africa is not even known for old blood. So peep that one out. You know what I'm saying? Just peep that one out. That's not even a large amount. There's not even a large amount of old blood in Africa. That's the crazy thing. Remember, Africa is where you're saying everybody's from. So you're going to have all the bloods over there. All right, bro, there's not even that many O's over there. But in America, it was all old blood. The whole America's all of it. It's all old blood. So you look at this whitewashed picture again, and then you look on that word Negro. Why is the white dude speaking Spanish? Why does he not have his own name for what he's doing? Maybe because he's not the original runner of this. That's how you know the white boy last. This is how you know the white boy is last. Y'all mad as hell at the loser of the slave trade. He's the loser of the slave trade. He's last, motherfucker. He's the last person to get involved. The first person was the arbitrator, the starter, the African. Okay. The next person was the Arabs, which were also Africans at the time. The next person was the Moor, which became the Spaniard, the conquistador. Okay, I could have swore they come from Africa. So it's like the whole slave thing is an African business, to be honest. It really is African business. You know what I'm saying? White dude's the last person to get on it. So you're kind of arguing with a peewee, and that's why we're coming out slam dunking and beating the shit out of them with just real information that's in their archive. They just didn't put it in their program school. They don't want you to know this shit. You know how much firepower the Negro would have in America? We own grain. We own granite. We're here. Hell yeah, you burnt and scared people off and moved us into these little dilapidated cities and shit. It's like, what the hell is it? What the hell would that be? And we don't own nothing. Yeah, these rats, roaches and shit. It's like the original ghetto was for the Jew. And not even in America. That's actually something that started in Nazi Germany. So that whole concept of trying to be down and be a thug and, the have-nots and all that. No, we supposed to have it all. This is our shit. What's wrong with you? We not supposed to be living dilapidated and messed up. No, they lied about us. They lied about everybody. And that's the thing. I'm a comrade to anybody that's a comrade to me, but I'm always watching you foreigners. I'm always watching y'all. Like, I don't give a fuck how cool y'all is. And that's everybody. From whites, Asians, Hindus, shit, even some of you Spanish motherfuckers. I'm watching y'all because I'm like, what's y'all purpose here? You know what I'm saying? Because I got a fight that's been going on so fucking long, and I ain't done breathing yet, pimp. I ain't done. And neither is none of the souls that's riding with me. There's a lot of us. At least 44 million of us. Bro, we not dead yet. And there's a lot of shit that they've been doing to us, trying to get rid of us, and we just keep on ticking. You can't stop it. Like if it's a plan. Like if it's heavenly designed. Because that's what I'm saying. It's like the Great Awakening, Judgment Day, all that stuff. What do you think they was talking about? Oh, when you're going to get judged by Christ on the right side of God. It's like, okay, bro, what do you think that means? If God is higher thought and Christ is light, and that is what we're using to discover this truth, what do you think that means? Judgment Day is literally taking place, has been taking place for 27 minutes and 53 seconds. Like, this is what it is. It's the awakening of the truth, telling it like it is. And the facts is, you don't need DNA tests. Why would you even accept that? You still got to deal with all the Fugazi stuff that happened in the root story and how they told you that only you was a slave. Like, they didn't teach you that they was also ex-slaves. And they didn't teach you how the conquistador enslaved the Indians of South America and turned them into Spaniards. And it's like, nobody's telling you nothing. They're not saying anything. They're saying you was the slave. It was just you. Then you got these people from across the water, and they're like, oh yeah, we were involved and we apologize. But here's the thing, they were African. They working with the same dude who claimed that this, the fake program story. They working with him. They cool with him. They telling the same story. But they ain't offer you no money neither. You can come back. You can come back to some people that sold you upstream, supposedly. And people doing it. Oh, I found my heritage. I bathed in African water. And the most that they are cousins. We'll say it like that. And technically, everybody of the world is a cousin to us. Why wouldn't it be? But we're not you. And that's why they don't have this story. And this is also why the fake Native American don't have this story. Ain't nobody whitewash this stuff. They still got you on, all different types of stuff. Now they trying to get rid of certain things that classify the original American Indians, like the big cheekbones and the smiley face, Indiana, Cleveland Indians. You know what I'm saying? They got rid of the Cleveland Indians. They got rid of that. Like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? We love that face. What? They claimed it was some Native Americans, but we all know that smile. That's the same smile that they put on the minstrel show souvenirs. Remember, one of them had a gold tooth. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Sometimes it's a dice. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. We know who that is. We got minstrel show Indian statues too. Jet black, big red lips. Who is that? Come on now. Don't all speak up at once. See, that's what pissed me off about these Native Americans, these fake Indians, because y'all don't have no truth of them making mockery of you. And we do. We actually have the proof. We know what they were saying, and we know exactly who we are. If your hair ain't nappy, bro, I will punch you in your head. First of all, anybody don't take care of their stuff, eventually it's gonna look maimed and all messed up. But yes, you're right. Some of you are very coarse hair. You know, your hair is very weak. You don't really have that much hair, and that's very odd because the whole point of supposedly representing Africa is an afro. So how do these people have afros if their hair is weak and they don't have hair like that? And that's the whole point. You're talking about nappy hair, but there's a sister who won the award for the largest afro and it's 4 feet tall. She literally has a midget of hair on her head. The motherfucker is 4 feet tall. Biggest afro winner. She won 3 times in a row. Forgot her name, but this is real stuff. You look it up. World's largest afro. You know what I'm saying? Sister won 3 times. So that's odd. You know, they're like, oh no, the African got hair. No, I know the African has hair because I know there's so many different type of Africans. There's Egyptian Africans. I mean, not Egyptian. There's Ethiopian Africans that are like tribal. You know what I'm saying? That are so golden brown, and their hair, like you can tell where the Jews got their style from because it's like their hair is just naturally curly, but it's long curly locks. It's like, dog, some dope ass shit. You're like, there ain't no Africans. Those Africans. There's some Africans called the Khoi Khoi. If you look at them from, you know what I'm saying, the hair texture, you know, you probably would say it's black, but if you look at their face, you'd say they was Asian. Their eyes are chinky. They got chinky eyes, like straight up, like straight squinted. And they're not that dark. They're fair skinned. And they're one of the oldest people supposedly on planet Earth. Khoi Khoi, you call them the Twa, but it's like they don't show you this type of like the branch because there's 3 Twas. That's what people also don't get. There's 3 Twas. There's 3 different fucking Twas. There was one on the west, there was one in the central, and there was one on East Africa. These are supposed to be the oldest people in Africa. There's 3 sets of 3 different tribes. People just say Twa. See, I kick a Pan African ass. I know more shit about they shit than they do, but it's like I don't knock Africa or Africans. Like when I meet the real, I don't have no problem with them. I have problems with you fake USBCUs or whatever the hell Boule minstrel show ass niggas. I can't stand y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm so glad I seen that movie. What's that shit called? School Days with the Jigaboos and shit. Jigaboos were gonna forgot who they was going against, but shit is hilarious. Like, yo, this is real shit. This is what y'all do. Y'all claiming that y'all, you know, righteous and for a good cause, and maybe some of you do want to be for a good cause. Ain't nobody mad at that. But the facts is the facts, man. You keep putting everybody in that African box, all you doing is crediting the spell. That is what it is because none of you motherfuckers have picked any cotton. None of you have been on a boat. None of you, dog, it's all in your head. Like, just like the painting. See how they switched it up? They put shit in your head. They be saying that same shit about Christ. They be like, yo, go to the Byzantine Empire. Look how dark he is. Look at his fro, bro. They be whitewashing shit. They just be taking people's science and twisting it and making it their own thing. And it's like, that's why you got white people today. I'm 2% Rapaho. I'm 3% Chickasaw. Yeah, my great granddaddy was a fucking rapist. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not even funny, but I'm saying that like that's pretty much what you're gonna have to lead to, because, bro, I'm not believing this Pocahontas John Love shit. Like, I don't believe that. I heard the girl died of fucking like a syphilis disease and shit. Going out there to England, fucking with the dirty motherfuckers. Remember, y'all just learned to bathe like 400 years ago. You know what I'm saying? The Moors ruled Europe for damn near, I think they say like 1,000 years. You know what I'm saying? Or at least 400. So it's like when they came, like Queen Victoria era, bro, there was filth and like feces and like shit all in the streets, bro. Like, no lie. Like, they'll tell you. The Victoria Empire, when she was the queen, Queen Victoria, they named a lake after her in Africa. And that's the funny thing, because she never used it, obviously, because they say her empire stank. So it's like, if you just look up that history, you know what I'm saying, you have to confirm that these are some dirty motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Even watch the movie Swanto. I remember, I think he said something about it, like, because when the white boy came back, it was like flies around him and shit. He's like, bro, when have you bathed? Like, something like that. I forgot. I forgot what the white dude said, but it had been a while, player. He had bathed in a mighty long minute. You know what I'm saying? He was a fat white boy, too, so you already know he was shitting, he stank. You know, it was a horrible situation. These are the type of people that try to conquer people and talk about, oh, yeah, new things. Yeah, let me show you something. It was something amazing. It was like, hell, yo, why don't we show you the bath? You killed my fish. It's like, we gotta have some comedy relief. No, but this is real shit, though. This is the people that was around at the time. So the Moors, okay, they raised them up. So who's these dudes that came over here with this science anyway? Who are they talking to? Why do they have the Indian Mason apron back in the 1850s, 1860s, something like that? Or no, the 1940s, 1950s, something like that. Around that time, they got this Mason apron and shit, and you got the Indians shaking hands with the tall hat, which I was telling y'all was a Jesuit. You know what I'm saying? Just watch the Jesuit video. You know what I'm saying? Just your wits. Because you really just got your wits on this. Like, real shit. Y'all can take in they science, like the Space Jam, like what they doing with the Space Jam and the God shit. You can take it and you can float. And you'll be out there forever, because your mind is a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? And you'll come up with calculations and determinations on your, your theoretical purpose in life, the way that your brain functions. Because some of y'all think devious and some of y'all think righteous. With the information, you'll be traveling those for decades. We can always talk about stars and moons and the aliens and all right here. Haven't fucking left. Oh, no, we got NASA. Bruh, cameras, picture shows. They've been doing Hollywood since the 1800s. Hello? Hello? You got your land took. You got your face whitewashed. You have been put into a programming credited by some of your own people that admitted they were taking you into a burning building. That's so fucking weird. Martin Luther King takes you to their schools, their programming, their colleges, which he was a part of. He's a part of SNCC. He's a college head. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Here's another funny thing. I made a video about this so long ago on my old page, and honestly, I think I ripped it. So I probably could find it. But why they never talked about Martin Luther King, the whiz kid? That's funny. This dude's a college genius. He goes to college at 14. You motherfuckers never talk about him? Never stop talking about him. Never talk about his college days. Never talk about his SNCC run when he's basically like a baby commie in training. And he was cool with the white people then. And then who took it over? I think it's Kwame Ture. I think that's his name. But he's the one that took it over and then coined the phrase Black Power. That's what people say. Then somebody else say they coined the phrase. It's like, bro, Shut the fuck up. Y'all all fucking feds anyway. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? All that shit is federally. It's all COINTELPRO. That's the funny thing about it. They say that shit like it was the government stopping them. No, nigga, y'all part of the government. That's why y'all was so rebellious and shit didn't change in the hood. Y'all didn't make nothing good. All they had the after school lunch program or the lunch program. Motherfucker, the parents should be cooking them breakfast. What kind of dumb shit is this? Niggas is like, we giving kids sack lunches. They ain't got no food at the house. Then why aren't we beating up the parents? What the fuck are we doing? Like, what are we doing? You willing to argue with the drug dealer? He got a gun. You don't want to argue with a parent? Mother, this is the dumbest shit. Like, I'm Joe Clark in their ass. Like, yo, you walk around eating zooms and whams, bullshitting. The kids want to learn. They want to be something in their life. They want to become something. You got them out here on some bullshit. Come on, man. No. Go on and jump. Shit. The parents jump. You ain't going to be there for your children that you create. And, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to do some masterful stuff like teach them, raise them up, and you ain't trying to contribute. Man, just jump off the cliff then. They better off in an orphanage. You can't feed the kids. We need some rebel niggas who should be at work their damn self. Ain't that a bitch? These motherfuckers out here, yeah, we feeding kids lunch program. Nigga, when you gonna clock in somewhere, motherfucker? When you gonna be a part of something? Revolution my ass. Oh, they wouldn't get a job, couldn't get a job. Shut your bitch ass up. That's the whole point of Martin walking for y'all. That was the whole point. That was in the 50s and 60s, knucklehead. Y'all got the law passed. Take your monkey ass to work. Oh, they won't hire nobody. Where the fuck was you working before the March period, motherfucker? And how did you survive this long when that shit took a couple, you know what I'm saying, damn near a decade and a half? How have you been living, my nigga? Like, do you see the federale in it? Do you see the CIA in it? Does it make any sense to you now? How are these martyrs surviving? Who are they working for? I thought they wanted a job. Okay, well, where are they working now? Like, how do they have a place? Nigga, this is all fucking Christ actor shit back in the day. Niggas like, nah, it's impossible. How is it impossible when the CIA, they've already came out, and that's another reason Tucker Carlson dipped off Fox. Bro, you saying too much. It's like, we can already prove that the CIA is involved with that. They paid that shit off. That's why Oswald, as soon as he clipped him, the other nigga clipped him. Ain't that a bitch? Before we get to talk to Oswald, he get clipped by somebody else. Oh, he was just so in love with JFK. Couldn't believe it. Get your whole ass up. This motherfucker who clips Oswald for some reason, he getting in Russia like 4 days before he even get his passport through. It's like some real grimy shit. He's staying in nice hotels. This motherfucker supposed to be broke as shit. This is back in the 50s. Motherfuckers staying in like $200 hotels. Who the fuck is this nigga? And for some weird reason, he's the biggest fan that fucking takes out the dude that we need the information from anyway. Like, shut up, man. You gotta follow that yellow brick road to hell. And don't be afraid of it, because remember, they made that shit up too. It's they fucking hell. They the ones falling. But here's your problem. You don't have enough economical power or political or land to really let this place fall. So the situation is this, and I'm bringing all that together to say one thing. Why you think they out there talking about God in space right now? Why you think? Because the Indian shit is not real. So we're going to talk about some other shit they say is not real. Motherfuckers talking about they ain't been out in space. It's flat earth. But then at the same time, y'all want to talk about moons and planets and stars and shit. Nigga, it's a big light show out there, my nigga. Whoever said that shit ever existed. Oh, you got the scripture in the books. You said our ancestors. Who said they wasn't a part of it? I thought they sold you. What the fuck is you doing? These motherfuckers is crazy. These motherfuckers is dealing with the same people that been doing this shit. You act like fucking the Egyptians didn't have slaves. You act like Hebrews didn't have slaves. You act like all these motherfuckers, all these stories have the same conclusion. There is no peace and harmony. Never was. It's always people controlling somebody else. Or is it? Was there slaves in America before any of these motherfuckers showed up? Or was it prisoners of war? Tribes that maybe got into beef with each other, you know what I'm saying? You got to hold them captive for a little bit, a little indentured servitude, make them clean the fields, you know, all types of shit, okay, and then set them free. Is that possible? Yeah. Oh, it's possible for us. I know. You guys said you did have indentured servants. But when you read up biblical or you read up at transatlantic, sub-Saharan, doesn't seem that, you know, indentured, you know, just seems like, you know, servitude and pain. At least that's the way y'all tell the stories. So, I mean, where y'all at today? Let's give Dan Calloway a round of applause. I mean, that was dope. And this ain't his first rodeo because he's done this already. He's shown pictures that of real people that were actually drawings. They were drawings before they had took a picture. So it's like, this can't be the original people anyway. This motherfucker was a drawing, and it's like, bro, in a time there was no like camera, so there's no way you guys had this picture. How the fuck you got this exact pose? That's some spacey shit. But that's what happens when your investigative skills have been, you know, laid dormant because they don't have you think like that. They don't have you think like a private eye in this world. They want you to just take it. Whatever they give you, just take it. Just accept it. You know what I'm saying? Sleep, obey, sleep. So at the end of it all, we here, man. It's a damn shame that these dudes really can't answer any real questions. Not from me, I'm saying from anybody, but I wish they would. I wish they would really make sense out of how do you take somebody's story and then claim you got ancestors that told this story? No, you don't. None of them people they show on TV claiming to be slaves you was related to. None of them. And all your people were sharecroppers and you know it. None of them got their back beat. All they did was pick crops. Now we talking about different business. And that's the thing. See, if you show me too many drawings and pictures from movies and stuff like that, they be like, oh yeah, see, we got pictures from slaves. No, you don't. You got drawings, bro. You got drawings or you got movies. Book, documentaries, all that shit. Hollywood. Why do you think books become movies? Where do you think a script comes from? It's on paper. It's on paper before it hits the big screen. You have to create. That is one thing I will give the European. They took that illumination shit, that Illuminati shit, and they went to the moon with it. They went to the moon with it because they, like, music was before the music industry. Because people had to understand, people have been expressing their souls vibrationally way before they were getting paid for it. It's just something to do. It's the spirit. So for people to take that and then turn it into their molding to where they choose who can be famous and who can't, because that's really what it is. There's so many people with talent that never went nowhere that were in the mainstream for a quick second. Why? They didn't go with the rhythm. They didn't go with the glide that they wanted them to go with. How do you contort and, you know, obstruct someone's soul? How do you do that? That sounds like you sold it, right? Some people are just, you know, they won't sell it, so they get rid of them. Okay. the Pan-Africans are kind of trying to sell the soul of the American Negro by not keeping it real with this. I'm not saying the earth is not flat or round. Excuse me. What I'm saying is, what does that matter? This country's 32 trillion in debt. They're probably going to try to sell it off to the Chinese, and you still are on the bottom of your own stuff. And you have all this historical points to prove your capital, and you're letting it be thrown to the side because people want to talk about God or space. That's what I'm saying. We can get into those type of conversations. Those are great conversations. There's nothing wrong with it. But I thought this was the truth. I thought this was supposed to be real information. And it seems like they just want you to be some healthy slaves. I mean, that's why they keep talking about health. They keep talking about health. Oh, you talk about health and meditating and yoga and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, but you own nothing. That should be the real point. It doesn't matter about your little businesses. No, I'm talking about you as a group. Your group owns nothing. There's Chinatowns all over this place. There's Mexican shops all over this place. There's Italian pizzerias all over this place. You guys aren't getting it. You're not getting it. Even Jamaicans be popping around this joint. Cubans, Colombians. You're not getting it. We got soul food, man. If you don't knock it off, you can cook anything. Be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Be acting like Chinese shops don't be having fried chicken. Like, bro, you can cook anything. Nobody's limiting you to just soul food. I didn't say that. What I'm saying to you is it's time to rise. And the best way to rise is being, comfortable and happy with your surroundings where you are. We have made our surroundings cluttered. Broken glass everywhere. People pissing in the staircase. Just don't care. We've made our condition worse than what it already was. Now it's time to clean up. Not just the physical body. No, the atmosphere, B. You know what I'm saying? Clean up the energy. Once we unify again, because if we were going to go to war with these bastards, we all got to be on one side. You understand that, right? Okay, we can't have soldiers behind soldiers, stabbing soldiers in the back. Like, you guys got to understand this. I mean, it's got to be a tribe. It's got to be a unit. It's got to be Turtle Island. It's got to be one thing. So, say this. While they talk about space and God, which are cool, I want y'all to remember that they stole fizzy lifting drinks. They took so much stuff from people and switched it around. And I know that this picture is true by the headdress, because the original one is more of a circled crown. It's more of the feathers are poked in. They're poked in. This new crown has these feathers all around up top, and then it goes down the back, and it's like, that's not the original look. I know it's not, and I understand the original crown. I get what it comes from. It comes from some type of, cotton or elastic, you know what I'm saying, that you wrapped around your head already, and then they just stuck the feathers in, sticking outward. So, like, it's fresh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it, you know what I'm saying? It's dope. I get the original crown, I get it, you know what I'm saying? It's fly, it's dope, you know what I'm saying? Real talk, like, the original crown is dope. And people, see, that's how you know the Native Americans work for the CIA and the government, because they shit be looking more like the Egyptian style. And what do you got on the back of the dollar bill? See, the shit all comes together when you really look at it. You know what I'm saying? When you really look at the Native American today, they crown looks like the Egyptian headdress, just like the white wigs that they wore back in Europe that was trying to imitate the Egyptian crown. So we know who's working for the government by stopping us from taking over capital. Till the next time.